இந்த வீடியோவை வழங்குவோர் ARS ட்ரஸ்டீல் கம்பிகள் since 1971.
உங்கள் ஃபோனை கையில் எடுத்து யூடியூப் ஆப் ஓப்பன் பண்ணுங்கள், பிஎன்எஸ் டிவின்னு சர்ச் பண்ணுங்கள். பிஎன்எஸ் டிவின்ற எங்களுடைய சேனல் பேஜ் வரும். அதை கிளிக் பண்ணிங்கன்னா சப்ஸ்கிரைப்னு ஒரு வார்த்தை இருக்கும். அந்த சப்ஸ்கிரைப்ன்ற வார்த்தையை டச் பண்ண உடனே சைடில் ஒரு பெல் ஐக்கான் வரும். அந்த பெல் ஐக்கானை கிளிக் பண்ண உடனே அந்த மணிக்கு காது வச்ச மாதிரி 2 கோடு வரும். கோடு வந்துருச்சுன்னா உங்களுக்கு நோட்டிஃபிகேஷன்ஸ் வேக வேகமாக வரும். எங்களுடைய பெட்டர் வீடியோஸும் வேக வேகமாக உங்களுக்கு வந்து சேரும். கீப் சப்போர்ட்டிங் அஸ். அப்போ தான் எங்களால் பெட்டர் வீடியோஸ் கம் தைரியமாக சொல்ல முடியும். இப்பவும் சொல்கிறேன், பெட்டர் வீடியோஸ் கம். வணக்கம்.
வணக்கம்.
வெல்கம் டு சென்னை.
Thank you so much. It's a beautiful city.
Thank you. Velekaran audio launch, 4 to 5 hours of event. You would have seen a lot of people talking about this movie on stage, and they would have all shared their experiences and opinions about the stars and movies in Tamil. How was the experience for you?
Well, to be very honest, which I said yesterday, first of all, I want to add that I have never seen something like this ever. Because the kind of love, warmth, passion and emotions that one display on the stage there took me by complete surprise. The massive crowd, the way it was organized, and it was such a beautiful. In fact, I tweeted in the morning, and Mr. Siva Karthikeyan replied back on Twitter. I said, I'm carrying back such beautiful memories. I could not understand the language, but I could feel the emotions. I could feel the passion that was flowing there. It was so beautiful.
So how does Taran Adarsh keep track of trade analysis of a movie? Apart from Rentrack, what are your sources?
Well, Rentrack has been kind enough to, they have given me the access to the charts, I think 13 or 14 countries. So I track, in fact the vice president of Rentrack was gracious enough, very kind enough to fly down to Mumbai, and in one of his meetings he had met me also. So international data comes from there, where it is real time data you can access if you have. It's given to the distributors, of course, the foreign distributors of be it Sony, Warner Brothers, Fox. A few Indian people, distributors also have it. I've been one of the fortunate ones who goes through Rentrack figures and box office data of international territories from there. Indian data, you have your own sources. Ask the distributor, and the distributors are or the producers are very open about this. There is transparency in Mumbai where people would want to share the figures. Yash Raj, for that matter, is a leading production house. Karan Johar's Dharma Productions is a leading production house. I have this figure of one of their films, and I want to know about, is it true, right or not.
Just want to cross check, and they immediately share it.
How many screens, day one collection, territory wise. They know I have international data, yet they send it to me and I cross check. All distributors do that, and I cross check with my Rentrack sources, with my Rentrack chart, and it tallies. So my question was, why no transparency in South? And I'm surprised. I for one, I'm a big, huge fan of South Indian films. I love South Indian films, and ever since I've grown up and I've watched South Indian films, and I wonder, and I sometimes wonder how much this film would have done, but there is no data that I can actually access. So there I feel a bit sad. For the Hindi film industry, it's very clear. So if you see my Twitter profile, you will get the data there of Hindi films, Hollywood films, a couple of them which fare well. International data, I like to highlight the data of not just Hindi films, but Tamil, Telugu. I was highlighting the day-wise data of Marcel in UK, US, Canada, Australia, France, on a daily basis. So and in their local currency. And I felt so proud, so happy that Marcel was right there at the top, getting that revenue, making Indian cinema so proud.
I'm able to see in your Twitter handle that you have described yourself as a social media influencer. Why is that so? Do you influence people with your tweets? Or?
Yes, I feel that on social media you can influence people. To not just to watch or not watch a film, but tell them to watch a trailer. Like in this morning, yesterday, Marvel Disney sent me the trailer of the new film. Or today Universal sent me the trailer of the new film, Hollywood film. And I love Jurassic Park.
Everyone.
Yeah. I've grown up on those kind of films. real entertainers. So I immediately tweeted about Jurassic World, Jurassic Kingdom, the new franchise, the new film that's coming out, early in the morning. So for me, I influence people to watch at least a trailer and to decide whether they want to watch a film or not. So for me, a social media influencer is someone who can influence you or can give you an opportunity to say, well, watch it or you don't watch it. That's the reason I wrote social media influencer. Not for a movie purpose, because I'm a movie critic or movie analyst. I'm not an influencer at all. I think today, as I keep saying this all the while, is that the common man is a bigger critic than a film critic. He comes out of the theater, he or she, and they say, I didn't like this film, or I like this film. And they text their friends. I'm sure your friends have texted you, we just saw this movie, we didn't like it, on WhatsApp. Or on Facebook, they can post something and they say, I didn't like this, or they liked it. So today, a common man is a critic, and that's a beautiful feeling. So they influence the movie-going decisions more than a critic does today.
Why do you think box office numbers interest people so much? Don't you think these numbers or collections or box office reports should be considered only by filmmakers or producers or stars who are part of that movie?
I am so surprised myself. You have asked me the right question, because if there's a delay, I'm talking of Marcel. If there was a delay by a few hours of reporting international data, my timeline would be full of people
Asking about Marcel's box office update.
Box office update in Germany, France, UK, Australia, and they want to know how the movie is faring at the box office. On the other hand of the fence, on the other side of the fence, are the trolls sitting there, not liking that particular star, and they want to know what the figure is, because they have a different reason of looking at the box office.
Just to bash the movie.
Yeah, perhaps. So when I mentioned Tube Light, there would be Shah Rukh Khan fans who would jump in. When I mentioned Jab Harry Met Sejal, there would be a Salman Khan fan or an Amir Khan fan who would jump in. But that is social media.
This is going to be the very important question of this session. Have you ever faced a threat from a fan or a producer or an actor after posting the real box office collection of a movie?
No, never.
Never.
To be very honest, had I faced something like that, I would have said. But I have never faced something ever. People do get upset. With seniority, you have the advantage of people not abusing you on your face. People have been upset with my reviews. I can feel that. They have conveyed through our common friends that he's been a bit harsh. But no threats. Sorry, no, not at all. Never. They can say that we will sue you. That there was, again, brings me back to Mr. Manmohan Desai. He had made a film called Ganga Jamna Saraswati, which was his last directorial venture. He had announced that he's not going to direct films after that film. And I had called it an epic failure. And he complained about me to the Producers Association, the Hindi Film Association. It is called IMPA, IMPPA. And I was called there, and Mr. Manmohan Desai was sitting there with all the producers. And they said, you've been very harsh to the film, and this is not the way. You call it an epic failure. And I compared it to Razia Sultan, which was a big failure at that point of time. So I said, Mr. Manmohan Desai has all the reasons to be upset with me, but let me also remind him, I'm sure he knows, that my father is the distributor of the film for Tamil Nadu and Kerala. So it harms my father also when I write something like that. But if I have not liked a film, I have not liked a film. The matter ended at that. People do get upset, but no threats.
To be very frank, we are able to see a lot of film producers faking their box office collections and calling their own movies blockbusters and super hits just to maintain their social status or just to market their movies with these tags after a week or so. Is it happening in Bollywood?
Well, I think in Bollywood, as I said, it's very much out in the open.
Transparent.
Yeah, very transparent. So there people cannot, at least the Hindi film producers that I know of, I don't see a reason why they would really try to project it as a hit. As far as the South film industry is concerned, I really don't know. In North, as I said, there are celebrations but only if the film does well. Because I feel producers there or actors there would want to show what is right. Like, I'll give you an example of Tube Light, starring Salman Khan, and Harry Met Sejal. Let me add that as well. Shah Rukh Khan. Okay, let me add one more film, Jagga Jasoos, which was produced by Ranbir Kapoor and Disney, UTV Disney. All the three films flopped, as you know, and all the three films got a very dirty review from me also. But yet, the producers, be it Salman Khan, be it Shah Rukh Khan, be it Ranbir Kapoor, Disney, were okay with sharing the real numbers. They never hid it, so they were okay with sharing the figures.
Have you ever faced a situation where a big star, an actor or a producer has pressurized you or requested you to change the numbers and publish it?
No.
No?
Never. Never. Why would, as I said, I just gave you the examples of three films. Believe me when I say this, I've written, it's there on my Twitter feed, it's flop, disaster, whatever. The verdict was, box office verdict was, after the release with the box office collections. They were okay with it. Because somewhere down the line, I feel the producers or the actors, they know that they have missed the bus sometimes. And if they're okay with sharing the figures, I think that's the biggest thing that I can tell them. I think it requires a lot of guts to tell to the world that their child has failed in an examination. You know, a movie is like a child for them. And if they say it has failed, they issue those statements. I think it's a great thing. Someone sitting in Germany, what movie has collected what in some particular city of Germany. That's how you can access it. And I wish that system comes in India where people can actually access the reports and say, okay, wow, this is what this film has done, and this is what this film has done in that region or that city or that town or that province. And that would be a great feeling.
Taran Adarsh is totally happy about having Rentrack.
Yeah, I'm very happy. I've been doing it for a couple of years now, and
it's wonderful.
It's wonderful. When I was highlighting the collections of Marcel, the new film that the news sensation and the rage that was at the box office. In certain reports, I have seen people saying, okay, what is the proof? What is your source? We don't believe it. You know, generally the trolls are there. But I always make it a point to highlight at Rentrack in every report of international. Every report, every tweet of mine has at Rentrack. And there was not one person from South who said it's a fake report. There was not one person, and I had so many retweets and so many people commenting on it, on Marcel, but not one. They could be fighting amongst themselves, which is understandable. But there was not one person who said, these collections are doubtful, these collections are wrong, these collections are fake, because it's Rentrack. It's an agency that tracks the biggest of Hollywood films, the biggest of studios worldwide. I got that. In fact, just now I highlighted one more film with starring Karthi.
The cop movie?
Yes.
Theeran Adhigaram Ondru.
Yes. In North America, in US and Canada. Wonderful business. So good. I feel so happy. It's doing so well in North America, US and Canada market. Because it's an Indian film and it makes you proud. And if the data is out in the open, it opens your eyes to the fact that South Indian films are so much ahead of Bollywood films in terms of numbers these days. Look at Bahubali. I mean, a film like that does $20 million from the North American market. I can talk about it because it's available on Rentrack. Else people don't know how much has Bahubali done in North America. No idea. Oh, but then Rentrack says, North America, that is US and Canada, it does $20 million. And it's such a big high. We are so proud of Bahubali.
So, talking about Bahubali 2,
yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
What is the final collection of Dangal and Bahubali 2?
I would say that Dangal has an advantage of the release in China.
I have another question about it.
Yeah, and Bahubali has not released in China. Yet, Bahubali has done maybe the data is still being updated to that range, 1,600 to 1,700 worldwide gross. And this is almost 2000 Dangal, because as I said, it has the advantage of China at least. The question is not as to why and what worked. I would say together, combined, it's a 3,500 crore business. That
From Indian cinema.
From Indian cinema. Just those films. That's a proud moment. When you see the business of Dangal and Bahubali, you realize that there is potential. We can do that kind of business.
We need to explore that market.
And also give them the content. When I was addressing a master class in Hyderabad 2 days ago, and there were a lot of foreigners sitting there. And I said, the problem with you people is that when we talk of Indian film industry, you think only Bollywood. But there's more to Indian film industry than Bollywood. Look at the kind of cinema South is coming up with.
I'm so happy that someone from Bollywood is accepting this.
I always say that. I said that, when you talk of Indian film industry, please don't just include Bollywood. There is Tamil, there's Telugu, there's Kannada, there's Malayalam, there's Marathi, Gujarati, Assamese, Bengali. So many beautiful films, Marathi, so many beautiful films coming out. Watch those films. Look at the business that these films do.
Why do you think no one has explored China market as good as Amir Khan? What is the secret behind it?
No, there's no secret. China has a policy. China has a very strict policy about the number of films that they import. There was Dangal. But Amir has done a very wise thing. You've just mentioned about something, why Amir. He's done a very wise thing. He's gone there prior to PK, prior to Dangal. He's gone to China and he's promoted his films. He sat there with the common man. He mingled with the common man.
Discussed about the movie.
He spoke to the media, the local media there. He highlighted his film. So people became aware of it. Amir Khan is a brand in China. Not many people know that. He's a very, very popular name in China. Because he's invested his time, money of course, but he's invested his time and he's flown to China and done that kind of canvassing for his film, promoting his film. And that's how the audience came in on the first day. Amir Khan film, it should be a good film. But the numbers grew because the content was strong enough.
Ungalோட experience, with your experience, how much do you think 2.0 would collect? Lifetime?
This is one question I don't think I really have an answer to. And I am sure many people would not. But I feel that when you have Rajnikant Sahab, Akshay Kumar, Shankar, A.R. Rahman on one platform, wow, 2.0 is one film that it's not a film, it's an event. And I think it's going to be like a festival when the film releases. People would want to watch that film.
You're so excited about it.
I'm so excited. I'm a movie lover, to be very honest. I'm a huge, big fan of Rajnikant Sahab. Akshay Kumar, he's playing a negative character. He's a good actor. Shankar Sahab, of course, is a terrific storyteller. A.R. Rahman is a genius. So all these factors, whatever we've seen, the little that we've seen through the promotions that they have done, it looks magnificent. It looks splendid. So I genuinely hope that it sets new benchmarks at the box office. It creates records. It shatters previous records and sets
new records.
There are some events that are life-lasting. This was one of them. Yes. And then I got the opportunity to have the privilege of interacting with Mr. Siva Karthikeyan ji. And Siva Karthikeyan ji was wonderful when he spoke to me. He spoke about South, about various things. He spoke about his movie, this new movie. He spoke about Hindi films. And it was so wonderful because he's so full of knowledge and he's so humble and so down to earth. I loved his nature. He's a very, very nice man.
It's a very smart move to invite you because I'm so happy that I got an opportunity to meet you and discuss about all these things. I'm so happy that you came here to Chennai. But what do you think is the real reason behind inviting you? What was the starting point?
I have no idea. They invited me for, Siva Karthikeyan ji had invited me for his earlier film Remo. Unfortunately, I was out of the country at that point of time. I felt that I had refused him the first time because I was out of the country, and he's called me again. It would be very wrong on my part I would be a heartless person if I didn't accept his invitation this time. I feel I benefited when I saw so much of love and warmth, so much of energy and so much of passion.
We are so happy that they invited you again.
Thank you so much. That's very kind of you. In fact, I feel honored and humbled with all the love that I've got in Chennai.
Talking about Tamil movies creating a vibe all over India, Mersal was one recent movie.
Yes.
It became so viral and became a nationwide sensation because of the dialogues about GST.
Yes.
But also, it has got most number of YouTube views when whole of India is considered. So, all the producers or distributors or actors, do they discuss about all these things, all these small vibes created by Tamil movies in Bollywood?
Well, I think Mersal had hit headlines because it was talked about for various reasons. When I was tracking the figures, when I was looking at the international data, let me specify international data, I was completely enamored. And I feel that people do notice, people everywhere, Mersal, people would want to discuss it because it's a big film, has a lot riding on it in terms of financial. And also I feel that it did very well at the box office, not just in India but also internationally. So I guess people are bound to talk about it.
So, have you followed their movies or their box office collections? What is your opinion about their command over the box office here?
I believe and I am sure they are huge stars, Mr. Vijay and Mr. Ajit. I have tweeted the trailers. I have tweeted the box office collection, the international data of their films, highlighted those collections. And I'm completely like a fan sitting here and telling you that I'm so proud of these two icons. Because the kind of business, be it Rajnikant Saab, Kamal Haasan Saab, Mr. Vijay, Mr. Ajit, Mr. Surya. Mr. Surya had his production house kept a screening for me of his film called 24.
Huh.
And I wanted to see the film because I like Surya as an actor. He's a very fine actor. And I respect the director. For me, the director also is very, very important. Mr. Vikram Kumar.
Vikram K. Kumar.
Yeah. So I remember watching Manam and 24 of Surya. So when you're talking about South actors, I think they're such brilliant actors, all of them. Be it Kamal Haasan ji, Rajnikant ji, Mr. Ajit, Mr. Vijay, Mr. Surya. They're such terrific actors. And in 24 for that matter, I distinctly remember because it's a recent film for me that I had seen a year ago. And he played 3 different roles. And all 3 were so different from each other. That's the hallmark, that's the sign of a fine actor.
I completely understand that Wikipedia is a source that anyone can edit. But I just saw this statement and I was totally shocked. In your Wikipedia page, he is currently an active film critic, in brackets, who gives paid reviews to films. Why do you think they have mentioned this?
I have no idea. This can be edited as you said, and I'm sure it might be edited after a point of time. But then I am ready to take that in my stride. I am the last person to argue or to fight back. As long as you're clear in your conscience, as long as you are very clean in your dealings, when you're very clear about what you do. And in today's times, I think I've had a 37-year-old innings as of now. I'm going to be stepping into 38 years of active film journalism. So that respect is what I yearn for, and respect is what I think is most important.
You just said to me that a lot of actors have turned producer and it's a very healthy phase. Why do you think actors should be very responsible, that too top level actors should be very responsible and keep track of the box office reports of their movies?
Well, I think in Mumbai, everyone keeps track of box office collections, including the actors. But I think in Bollywood at least, I mean, I'm talking of the Hindi film industry, actors have turned producers themselves.
So they are understanding the...
Yeah, and if they are not producing it, they have a stake in the film. You know, they have a stake in the profits or into the recoveries of the film. So I guess they know the kind of money it's going to make, or in terms of the recoveries, what are going to be coming in. The world over, if you look at Hollywood also, a lot of actors there are producers themselves. In Bollywood too, a lot of actors, almost all, Shah Rukh, Salman, Amir, Akshay Kumar, all are producing their own films. It's a brilliant phase. And I think they should be aware of the economics. Because a film, we look at only at the brighter side where the film is doing very well. But what if the film is not doing well? So the actors, when they become partners here, I mean, I'm talking of the Hindi film industry completely. That's a great thing of knowing where you stand in terms of economics. I have no idea about how it works in South films. And I have no idea about how it works in Tamil and Telugu, Malayalam, Kannada, or any other industry. But in Hindi film industry, I think they get paid, or if they are not paid, they have a stake in the profits, or they get paid a token, or they get paid at the end of the day. So it's a very different arrangement for it, and it depends from film to film. They are aware of the kind of business that they do. It's very important to keep the economics in check. It's a wake-up call for them, because it makes them realize the kind of business that their movies are doing and the kind of business they want to, in the future, they can do.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Romba nandri. I'm so happy that we had this conversation. And most importantly, we would like to invite you for our Behind Us Gold Medals 2018.
Thank you so much. And if you invite me, I would definitely make an attempt to come for the function. It would be a pleasure. It would be an honor to be at your event.
இந்தியாவை பொறுத்த வரைக்கும், இந்தியன் சினிமாவை பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் ரைட் நோ ஒன் ஆஃப் தி பிகெஸ்ட் ஐகான்ஸ், நிறைய பேருக்கு ஒரு ரோல் மாடல் அப்படின்னு தான் சொல்லணும், மிஸ்டர் தரன் ஆதர்ஷ். அவங்க கூட இந்த கான்வர்சேஷன் அமைஞ்சது எங்களுக்கு ரொம்ப பெருமை, எனக்கு ரொம்ப பெருமை. நிறைய விஷயங்கள் அவர்கிட்ட பேசணும். இந்த கான்வர்சேஷன்லேருந்து உங்களுக்கு என்ன டேக்அவே, எதெல்லாம் உங்களுக்கு ரொம்ப ஃபேசினேட்டிங்காக இருந்துச்சு, உங்களுக்கு ரொம்ப பிடிச்சிருந்தது அப்படின்றத கமெண்ட்டில் பதிவு பண்ணுங்கள். அடுத்தடுத்த டிஸ்கஷன்ஸில் அதை வச்சு நம்ம இன்னும் மெருகேற்றி நிறைய புதுசாக கேள்விகள் கேட்கலாம். ஓகே, நன்றி.
இந்த வீடியோவை வழங்கியோர் ARS Trust Steel கம்பிகள் since 1971.